Welcome in to the Daily Mountain Eagle PrepZone Wrap-Up Show, presented by Bevill State Community College. I'm Brett Elmore from WJLX 101.5 FM, alongside the sports editor of the Daily Mountain Eagle, Johnathan Bentley, in this week. And Johnathan, the final week of the regular season is in the books, playoffs ahead of us, but most of our teams getting ready for basketball season, unfortunately.
Yeah, and then it'll be here before you know it, unfortunately. But I'm just not, basketball should be next month. But here we go. We got 4 teams left, which I was hoping for more. But good luck to I think these 4 can make some noise, really. But the season flew by again. 11 weeks, boom, it's over.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think these 4 teams, they're quality teams, and they can make some noise in the playoffs. We'll see what they can do. The new season starts this week, but let's recap last week. A Thursday night affair in Bessemer as the Vikings on the road at Bessemer City. 41-14 the final score as Rosenfeld caps off his junior season, 13 of 15 passing, 257 yards and 3 scores. Kevon Samuel, 5 catches, 132 yards and a touchdown. Plus, he returned a kickoff 80 yards for a score. Trayvon Stewart, 105 all-purpose yards, 2 scores. Then on the defensive side of the ball, they played really well. Landon Castillo, 15 tackles. Cole Sargent with 9 tackles and 2 interceptions. They did everything in this ball game and looked good to wrap it up and go 5-5.
Yeah, we kind of expected that. Bessemer's had a down season, but that's what you're supposed to do to these teams.
Yeah.
And everybody, all the playmakers had huge games. Castillo's really come on.
Yeah, he really
has.
has.
2 weeks in a row he's had huge numbers.
And he will be back next season, which is huge for the Vikings. But I think this Viking team exceeded expectations. You say 5-5, that's nothing you'll hang a banner about. But in this region, with this schedule, of course we say it a lot, but I think 5 wins is pretty good. And with a break here or there, they may have picked up another 1 or 2.
Yeah, it's unfortunate they had that forfeit.
Yeah.
Who knows, this could have been 6-4.
Yeah.
But this was a really good season. They're just in this region. I've said since the start of the season, you put them in a different region, they're a playoff team.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's move on to Curry. The Yellow Jackets finish up the season winless. West Point, the winner, 69-20. Wyatt Cook, a couple of touchdowns in the game. Colin Page, a passing touchdown. Blake Sargent had a rushing touchdown. But one of those years for Curry, and maybe they can get things turned around, get in the weight room, and you just got to keep fighting, I guess.
That's part of it. It is the weight room. He's mentioned that. But, yeah, they're at the ground floor here, and you can only go up from here.
Only go up from here, that's for sure.
We've been saying that a little while, right?
Yeah, for the Curry Yellow Jackets, gee whiz, I hope they can get that program turned around. I think Coach Emerson will. I really do.
I do too.
Carbondale, the Bulldogs, on a Friday night, they pick up a big win, 42-0 over Brilliant. And Devin Daniel, man, what a night. 361 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. Clay Tittle, 7 of 13 passing, 40 yards with a couple of scores. Blake Ingle, 10 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss and a fumble recovery in that winning effort. It was 14-0 at the half, and Carbon Hill just kind of cruised.
Yeah. You give the ball to Daniel, things are going to happen. Yep. Usually good things.
Yeah.
So he's had a great season. That's a great way to cap it off, junior season.
Your story starts at Bevill State Community College. Whether you are just starting out or starting over, Bevill State has an opportunity that is right for you. With 5 locations serving 7 counties. You don't have to go far to start your own success story. Plus, with tuition lower than 4-year colleges, you won't need to spend more for a great education. Visit us online at bscc.edu to learn about your options for seamless academic transfer and high-demand career tech and health science offerings. Let us help you tell your story.
Let's move to a big rivalry game to end the regular season, that being Cordova and Oakman. The Wildcats will winner 26-12. Tough ball game for Cordova. Cody Hedrick, 17 of 28 passing, 168 yards with a touchdown and an interception. Caden Elmore had 8 catches for 105 yards and a touchdown. Let's talk about Cordova first. They wrap up the season. Coach Smothers in one of those situations that we talk about Jasper's in, where they're waiting for reclassification in December. That tough class, and then having to wrap up against a playoff team in Oakman and a county rival. But Coach Smothers, I think, will have it turned around.
Yeah, if you take away, they They had so many chances. Reminded me of Ole Miss Auburn. They were just constantly in the red zone and could not score.
Yeah.
And I mean, they cut it to 8 and tried for the onside kick in the 4th, didn't get it, but that was closer than it seems. And Cordova played hard. I mean, that was a hard hitting game, very physical. I was impressed.
Well, that's a good sign if you're a Cordova fan. The team not giving up and being physical. That's what you kind of associate Cordova with, and that's some hard-nosed physical football. Now, on the flip side, Oakman, the Wildcats, is a playoff team. They are a playoff team. Has Caden Marchbanks, 23 carries, 170 yards, and a couple of touchdowns. Bubba Odom, 6 of 15 passing for 81 yards and a touchdown, while rushing 51 yards on 10 carries with a score. Oakman, a team that has made the playoffs. They are at home field, and I believe they have Colbert Heights, right, first round?
That's right, a 5-5 Colbert Heights team, and I just like the way they're playing right now. 8-2 season, really good season for Oakman.
Yeah, and we looked at the bracket before we started filming, and they, with that draw, I thought a pretty decent a draw for them. But they have, the further you get, the tougher it gets, and you see Fife in that side of the bracket, and
they're always going to be there, aren't they?
They're always going to be there. Corner, the Yellow Jackets, they lose their finale to Briarwood Christian, 40-15, the final in that one.
Yeah, Corner they jumped out to a hot start this season. I think they're like 2-1, and they're kind of in a tough draw too. They've had a lot of ranked teams on the schedule. Briarwood Christian as a non-region game, I mean, that's tough for anybody.
Might as well schedule the Packers. Might as well. Dora traveled to West Blockton and picked up a big victory for them. 15-7 was the final. Sean Pryor, 5 of 5 passing, 126 yards, 1 passing touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown. But the Dogs pick up a big win in a close game on the road, and now they've got to go on the road. They're one of our playoff teams, and they'll go to Brooks, and that's not going to be easy.
Undefeated Brooks.
Yeah.
Now, I do like the way they needed this win. They had lost so many close games.
Yeah.
And I asked Chavis, I said, do you have a player for player of the week on defense? He said the whole defense. He couldn't single one out.
He's proud. He's super proud of his team, but also just thrilled about his defense. His defense has played lights out.
Yeah, that's really made that's the difference this season. Defense.
How about Coach Hastings at Lynn? Boy, he picks up a big victory at Cherokee, 41-0, and that's something they needed to close out the season. A big win and I understand I talked to Coach over the weekend and got to play a lot of the younger kids on the team, and they needed this big win to go into next season. Coach Hastings will have this program turned around.
Yeah, this was a young team, and I mean, it was 42-0 at half. Like you said, everybody played. Yeah. But they needed like you said, they needed a game like this too.
Talking about a team that really is going to be, they're going to be back and really good next year is going to be Winston County. They have a lot of kids returning. They're going to be losing the Morgan kid, but Winston County, they beat Falkville 64-22. Riker Morgan, 5 rushing touchdowns. Eli Edgell, 2 total touchdowns in the ball game. But I talked to Coach Friday night on our scoreboard, and he said, hey, it was a decent year, but we're going to be really good next year because he has a lot of kids coming back.
Yeah, they have a good coach. He's a good coach.
He is.
And, I mean, the thing is, they lose a kid that had 2,000 yards, they get another one, Can they do that again next year? But, yeah, as long as he's there, this will be a team, probably a playoff team most years, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I believe so, too.
PrepZone Wrap-Up is presented by Bevill State Community College and Kilgore Green Funeral Home.
And now time for the game of the week, and it was a good one. Summit Christian, the Eagles on the road to Arley to take on Meek. And boy, what a finish that was in Arley, 22-20, the final score. As Cam Deaver, 2 rushing touchdowns. He scored the final touchdown as time expired. Meek, 4th and goal from the 4-yard line with 6 seconds left. They score the winning touchdown and beat Summit Christian 20-22, who Summit Christian limped into the game literally. They had a ton of injuries But these are two of our playoff teams.
Yeah, that's how every game of the week should be. It should end on the last play of the game like that. But these are two of our best teams, you know. I mean, I really thought Meek would win, but that was I give Summit Christian a lot of credit here. They played a really tough game, like you said, shorthanded.
Yeah, they did, and it was a great game. I mean, a great environment. Meek, Matthew Clark, 27 carries, 157 yards, and a touchdown. Like I mentioned, Deaver, 2 rushing touchdowns. But on the flip side, Jordan Robertson had a great game for Summit Christian. Completed 10 of 19 passes for 143 yards and 2 scores. DeFore caught 3 passes for 72 yards with a touchdown. And I'll have to also give credit to Eli Moon. He caught 1 pass that was a circus catch, one-handed grab. And but it was a great night for both teams. Sad to see one team had to lose that one because they went to war. It was like a playoff atmosphere.
Wow, that's good for them. They both needed a game like that. But now they both head into the playoffs, both hit the road. So it's gonna be tough. But they got a chance the way they're playing.
Summit Christian, they are on the road to
Winterboro.
And Meek on the road to R.A. Hubbard. That's a game we'll have live on WJLX 101.5. So if you want to check that out, a couple of 7-3 teams, I think it's going to be a great matchup. Of course, R.A. Hubbard, the old Cortland High School, and we know all about them. But I do want to mention one of the coolest things. This was my first trip to Meek in quite some time, but one of the coolest things, we were getting ready to do the game, and an explosion went off across the way, and it was a huge bomb of fire. And that's all I can.
It was planned.
It was planned, and luckily so, because at first I thought someone had bombed the school or bombed Arley. One, I didn't know what was going on. I looked around, and all the Arleyans, they were with it, and they said everything's fine. I said, oh, okay. Well, this was really cool. But I have to give props to Meek for the big flame before the game. That was one of probably the coolest thing I've seen covering high school football. It was that. It rocked the press box. Thought it was going to blow us away. It was really cool. But Johnathan, like we mentioned, most of the teams not going to make the playoffs. We do have 4 teams left, so best of luck to those teams, I guess.
Yeah, that means 8 teams didn't make it. So these lucky 4 here, these 2, Dora is, like you said, on the road to undefeated Brooks. Mm-hmm. And Oakman's at home, so come out and watch the Wildcats. Maybe they make another run, hopefully. Yeah,
get out and support your team. Of course, if your team's out of the playoffs, get out and support another one of these teams in the Walwyn area. Meek, Summit and Christian, Dora, Oakman, all quality programs. They'll need your support too, so get on out and check them out. Well, all right, Johnathan, anything else before we wrap up?
No, man. Let's go to the playoffs.
All right, let's head to the playoffs. The new season is here. All teams are now 0-0. Let's get it started. For Jeffrey Winborn, our producer, and for Johnathan Bentley, I'm Brett Elmore. This has been PrepZone Wrap-Up presented by Bevill State Community College and also brought to you by Kilgore Green Funeral Home, 1200 Birmingham Avenue. We'll see you next week.